What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CU14 YouTube channel. You joined me for a bit of a transfer window special video, just a bit of a recap of the January transfer window. I'm going to talk about the ins and outs of what's happened and give you my opinion on the situation. Now, I apologise, there was no Lane preview this week. I did put something out on Instagram earlier on. Between Monday and sort of Thursday, I just really wasn't well. I could barely speak. So it just wouldn't have been anything to make a video out of. But I feel a bit better now, and as you can tell by my voice, it's still not the best, but it's miles better than what it was earlier in this week. But the Portsmouth preview will be live on Monday, and we'll be back to a normal sort of schedule there. But looking into the transfer window, then we're going to start with the outs. We'll start with Ryan Edmondson, who went to the Central Coast Mariners, I believe they're called. Stadium looks absolutely beautiful, mind. And all the best to him, a young lad. Go take that opportunity when it comes to you. I've always wanted to move to New Zealand, and if that opportunity came up, then, you're going to go. And great stuff for Edmondson, great life experience and stuff. From a Carlisle perspective, I know a lot of people like him. I like him as well, don't get me wrong. But I really don't think he's going to be too much of a miss, to be honest. Always gave 100%, always gave good effort. Wasn't given enough game time to prove himself to be our proper number 9, our goal scoring number 9. Was it 7 goals in 60 odd appearances or something along them lines? So on the pitch, I don't think it's going to be a massive miss, and that energy and passion's not going to be there. But in terms of sort of goal scoring and stuff, we're not really losing out on like a prolific goal scorer or anything like that. And speaking of non-prolific goal scorers, it is of course Joe Gardner there, who was left on a free transfer to Oldham Athletic. Now I'm a little bit surprised he went to the National League and not League 2, because I think he would absolutely still cut it in League 2. But Oldham probably have sort of in their sort of remit to be coming straight back into League 2 after relegation a couple of seasons ago. He'll do well down there, Joe Gardner. Very experienced player. I think what it was at Carlisle, the knack had rubbed off about it. He'd get the first couple of fouls, but then seven drops to the floor later. The referee kind of sussed him out a little bit, and we weren't getting ones, even though some of them weren't, some of them were. But the ones that were a foul, because he'd already jumped on the floor 7 times or whatever, the referee kind of just said, "Oh, it's Garner again, then get on with it," type of thing. And that's something where obviously is it doesn't help, and it's frustrating as well. I think he's a frustration for home and away fans, to be fair. I think, Carlisle fans got frustrated with him, and I think anyone who come to Brunton Park got frustrated with him as well. But good luck to him, very experienced player, quality player at Carlisle United as well. Let's not make anything about it. 4 separate signings for Carlisle, and this one was always going to be a short deal, wasn't it? 18-month contract, gone within 12. Did what he needed to do, got the promotion with us, played a crucial role in that promotion alongside Edmondson and Moxon, and then unfortunately things just didn't work out as well as you maybe would have liked in League 1. But of course he's getting on a bit now as well. But someone who is just started his career is Owen Moxon, and he has went to Portsmouth. Now, in the best possible way this to come across, I'm glad we got rid of him in January. It's not really a case of getting rid of him, but it's like he would have went on a free transfer in the summer, and then Carlisle would have lost out on money, regardless of how much it is. I've seen 150,000, I've seen 300,000, I've seen them figures knocking about. But even if it's 150,000, it's 150,000 more than you're going to get in the summer. And it's one of them where, fair play to him, he was a delivery driver 2 years ago, re-signed for Carlisle, played a massive role in our playoffs, in our promotion campaign. Massive game in the playoffs, get man of the match in the final, I believe. And then unfortunately picking up a bit of a knee injury this season, which has affected him on the pitch. But no doubt once he's fully fit, he'll be able to get back to the standard of last season, where he's running through 5-6 defenders and putting the ball in the bottom corner. Free kicks and things like that. So I think for Portsmouth, It's a very good side and a team that are very potentially going into the championship this season as well. They obviously are top of the league as we speak, but a lot can change in 17 games. But I imagine it'll be a championship player, and I do wish him all the best. Apart from Saturday, the 10th of February, then I hope he doesn't have a good game. But other than then, all the best to him, and I think it's a good career move. It's a short career, you know. He's coming to Carlisle, had an absolutely unbelievable debut season. Nobody seen that coming, did they? And then obviously he's went from the top of League Two to the top of League One. So fair play to Mox. But looking at the players coming in, then we're going to start with Luke Armstrong. And as a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of Luke Armstrong. You know, we're seeing what he's all about. We've seen it against us plenty of times, and it's really refreshing to see in a blue shirt instead of against the blue shirt. But yeah, he's top quality, Luke Armstrong. You've seen him against Barnsley. He's clinical, he knows where the net is. He's a big lad, he's a strong lad. My only concern is if we are going to continue this where we're playing him as a lone striker and he's got no one to play off, which doesn't really work. And I imagine the signing of Georgie Kelly is to go alongside Luke Armstrong. But yeah, Luke Armstrong, quality signing for me. Brilliant signing, and so is Harrison Neal. To be honest, he's looked absolutely sensational. To be fair, since coming back in, back up to Carlisle. Obviously, he played against us a few times for Barrow, but you know he's looked fantastic. He's looked really confident in the midfield. You know, he's not scared to put a tackle in. He's spot on with the fans and everything. So I think that's another good signing. Centre mid sort of partnership with Callum Guy. I would look forward to seeing that with. But yeah, another good signing there for Carlisle. Alongside the goalkeeper, Harry Lewis. I mean, you know, we Barrow fans were very keen to get Harrison Neal back in. But then Carlisle snatched him up, and then of course the other Twitter feud seems to just be endless. Is the Bradford one as well, and we got Harry Lewis off Bradford. Now I know they've had a bit of banter because he hasn't had the best start in terms of goal scoring wise, but again another top signing for Carlisle. He looks confident. He makes the defence look confident. He you know, probably does need to come off corners a bit more often, but he's off his line fast enough when there's a ball coming to him where maybe others weren't. They were in that goalkeeper shirt for Carlisle. Again, I think this is another quality sign, and I've got no complaints with Harry Lewis as our number one. And then we've got Josh Vella, a very experienced player. Of course, he was Fleetwood's captain when we signed him. And I think that's sort of your Owen Moxon replacement, really. So to play, I think a midfield of Vella, Neal and Callum Guy would be very good. Maybe a Vella, Neal and a Dylan McGeoch while Callum Guy's injured. I need to see a bit more Josh Vella in a Carlisle shirt to really make a judgment. I think it is a good signing, don't get me wrong. You know, you don't become the captain of another club by mistake. You've obviously got quality in you there, whether that's leadership or, you know, general quality as a footballer, or both, of course. Yeah, I think Josh Vella's another good signing. We got Anton there, the young Ukrainian lad. Apparently looked very good against Penrith in the County Cup the other day. But that's more of a youth team signing. But of course, Carlisle made a bit of a thing about him signing, so I will add him into the transfer window. But that is more of a youth team signing. I'm sure he will be a decent player if he can keep up the performance like against Penrith. Then you got Georgie Kelly. This one, of course, is our final permanent sign, and this was the one that came out around 10 o'clock last night on deadline day. And it's, from what I first seen, I thought that's a bit underwhelming, you know, not really sort of knowing who he is or anything. But seeing some of his highlights, and of course highlights always make you look good, don't get me wrong, I do know that. But seeing some of his highlights, he looks like a really good finisher. Rotherham fans seem devastated to lose him, which is a sign that you're signing a good lad. And he hasn't really played at sort of League One level, I believe. I think he's been more in the Irish League, then he came over to the Championship. He's done okay in the Championship. He's at a goal every 2 games in the Championship, which is a very good record at that level. And of course, if we're looking this season in League One, you're hoping that he can get fit as quick as possible and then bring that goal scoring ability to League One alongside Luke Armstrong. Hopefully it's not a Sean Maguire where he's absolutely excellent in Ireland and then in England can't really find his feet. But I think that is another good signing after what I've read and looked into and stuff. And a lot of these are on 3.5-year deals as well, so there's commitment there too. And of course, if we were to go down into League Two, then Georgie Kelly and Luke Armstrong are going to bag goals in my opinion. Jack Diamond on loan is a fantastic bit of business, and to all the people who say Simo out, I don't think we get players like Jack Diamond on loan without Paul Simpson as our manager, if I'm going to be honest. I think it's a great signing. Obviously, everything's past him now with what went on last year and everything, and he can focus on his football now. He looked like he just missed a bit of match fitness when we played Bolton, but he looked lively, so that's always a positive, and I think that's going to be a great signing for the next sort of 6 months, and then hopefully at the end of the 6 months, if he does impress and he does like his environment, who knows where that deal can go. And then the final one there is Sean Greddon. A player that I haven't seen a lot of, and a player that we haven't really seen in the Carlisle shirt as of yet. But I think as sort of a backup, it's a young lad from Palace willing to learn. It's a good deal. It's nothing groundbreaking or major, but it's a good deal nonetheless. Now, if I'm looking at this transfer window in the short term, I'm maybe going to 4 or 5 out of 10. I'm not massively keen as a short-term fix to what we need. However, I would argue Luke Armstrong, Harrison Neal, Harry Lewis, Josh Vela with the departure of Mox and the injury of Callum Guy, there's 4 players that make the team better. Now, out of 8, that's a very good January transfer window. For the short term, though, as I say, I'm going with a 4 or 5 out of 10, sort of mid-range. But then for the long term, I think this is an 8 out of 10 window. I think it's a very good window, to be fair, if you're looking as a long range. Luke Armstrong, Harrison Neal, Harry Lewis, young lads. Then you got Georgie Kelly, looking to prove a point. You got Josh Vela with the experience. I think it's been a decent transfer window. More for the long term. But some of the players we brought in, I can't complain. Luke Armstrong, imagine saying 3 years ago that Luke Armstrong would be a Carlisle player and we'd be in League One. You wouldn't think it. Top quality player, Armstrong. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know in them comments down below. The Tom Piaket video is live, so if you want to go and watch my interview with Tom, please do. It was a really enjoyable video to make, and I can't thank Tom enough for his time. That will be linked in the description and is on the channel. I think I looked at it before, and it was on about 950 views, which is unreal considering it hasn't even been 24 hours as of making this video. So thank you for your support there. Don't forget to follow my socials at CUO4 YouTube. That's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram if you want to stay in touch with myself. But for now, I have been CUO4. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I lost my vision, I lost my goal, lost my ambition, but you never ever